World Wrestling Entertainment places a lot of importance on substance abuse. However, not everyone necessarily agrees on all of the countermeasures that WWE has been taking, and there are some points of contention that are definitely worth discussing, which means that it's high time to give things a closer look. Because today, Dave knows 7 controversies about WWE's wellness policy. Let's get a few things out the way. First, I'm not a medical professional, and nor am I WWE staff, so while I have acquired this information from what I feel are reliable sources, it should be noted that I am not an authority on healthcare nor WWE's policies in any way, and this video should definitely not be taken as such. Also, this is not an endorsement at all for or against any of these issues. I'm just discussing them and leaving it open for you yourself to think about in terms of wrestling and decide how you feel. Furthermore, WWE has placed its wellness policy on their corporate website for public reading. I have a link below in the description, so if you are curious, you can check it out for yourself after you watch this video. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the list. Anabolic steroids. Let's just get the obvious one out the way, especially since talking about this will make other parts of the video easier later on. First, here's a quick and very simplistic overview on exercise. When you work out, you're creating small amounts of damage to your muscles. Your body then repairs the damage, but it makes it even stronger than it was before. However, your body has certain limitations as to how much muscle you can make due to its own biochemistry, at least naturally. Enter steroids, which are defined as any of a group of usually synthetic hormones that are derivatives of testosterone used to promote tissue growth. What this all means is that steroids can help to repair damage faster and even better than your own body can on its own. Now, sometimes this can be used legally to treat things like injury or administered by a doctor to help with weight loss. However, there are still devastating side effects that can happen, as well as the fact that it is illegal if it's not prescribed by a doctor. But here's the question: should WWE have a zero tolerance policy and ban steroid use altogether, even if it's prescribed medically? Additional natural substances. Going back to the definition of steroids, I mentioned that they are often synthetic derivatives of testosterone. But what about testosterone itself, as well as other growth hormones and substances that occur in the human body naturally? Should simply taking more of them count against you? After all, doctors can prescribe treatments such as testosterone replacement therapy, and doctors also administer growth hormone to children who have hormone deficiencies. And for a long time, HGH was not detectable by traditional steroid tests. So doesn't that prove that they are completely different from steroids? Well, they definitely are different, but then again, there are also negative side effects as well. And furthermore, WWE has a long list of non-medical use substances which are banned. Among them are HGH and testosterone. But should they be? Blood spinning. And going back to that really long list of banned substances for the wellness policy, oxygen won't be anywhere on it. But even though it's not on that list, that doesn't mean that oxygen doesn't have a few things in common with certain substances that are banned. First, yes, it is totally natural and we definitely need oxygen in our bodies. But oxygen, like other banned substances, does help with healing from injury. And as an additional bonus, it can also enhance performance too. Because, as I mentioned before, working out creates small amounts of damage, which your body then repairs. And the repairing is just another word for healing. Alright, so where does blood spinning come into play? Well, the process is simple. They take your blood and put it into a centrifuge, which adds more oxygen to it, and then they put it right back into your body. Now, this will indeed help with healing from injury, but it will also help you rebound from soreness when it comes to working out and recover from fatigue faster, thus allowing you to work out and perform more frequently. Now, there are those who will claim that blood spinning, along with other substances, should be okay in terms of treating injury, but in terms of performance, that would be a different story. And the idea of use for injury treatment versus performance and where you draw the line is a debate all unto itself. However, it should also be noted that unlike steroids and testosterone, the negative side effects of blood spinning are almost non-existent from what we know so far. All the same, it should also be mentioned that blood spinning is actually against the law in certain areas. However, it currently doesn't appear to be in violation of the WWE wellness policy. But should it be? Marijuana. Speaking of partially legal substances, we have marijuana. This drug has long been known to land wrestlers in hot water. Just ask everyone from Hacksaw Jim Duggan to Rob Van Dam. However, with it becoming a legal substance in certain states in America, some have wondered, should it still be a banned substance on the WWE wellness policy? Alcohol. A surprising substance on this list is alcohol, especially considering that there are many wrestlers known to be serious drinkers. So, how is alcohol a violation? Well, WWE talent are prohibited from using or consuming alcohol at any time within a 12-hour period prior to any WWE event or WWE scheduled performance. Surprising considering that Stone Cold Steve Austin drinks while he's performing. However, that does lead to part-timers. Part-time wrestlers are not subject to any of the rules of the wellness policy. This came under scrutiny when it was discovered that Brock Lesnar was suspended in violation of UFC's policy, but no action was taken against him in the WWE. It wasn't even frowned upon. So with Austin being a WWE legend who only occasionally shows up, I guess he's free to drink all the beer he wants to in the ring. But with all that being said, is this fair? Should part-timers be subject to the same rules as everybody else? Should it even exist? Finally, the big question. Is the wellness policy even worth having in the first place? When we see that part-time wrestlers, even those who are champions, who are not subject to the same rules of the wellness policy as everyone else and are doing just fine, it really does beg the question, do we even need the policy at all? Also, consider that unlike competitive sports, wrestling is not really a competition. Substances are mainly used to enhance physical appearance and not for giving an athlete an unfair advantage in an athletic contest. And there are those who will say that this would all be less of an issue if the WWE would just stop favoring super large wrestlers in the first place and instead give more attention to those who are naturally sized people. Now, aside from all that, some wonder if the policy is even effective in preventing the use of illegal substances. And considering that violations have occurred for things like paperwork or for being late for a test, there are some who feel that the tests are just too strict, that the punishments are too harsh, and concerned that the policy can be manipulated in terms of favoritism for certain wrestlers over others. But what do you think? What side of the line do you fall on these issues? Let me know down in the comments, and just letting you know, Sunday, July 22nd starts the countdown to my 2-year anniversary right here on YouTube. To celebrate, I will have a brand new video every single day that week, leading to the debut of a brand new series on my anniversary, July 28th. I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Dave knows.